Hey there, my name's Chuck. I'm web-footed and I love to swim. I just thought I'd say that to throw you off a little bit. But I've got a video here about a John Deere Sabre lawnmower. And it has to do with the switch and the colors corresponding to the letters on the switch. I had a lawnmower that this switch had disintegrated. You can see right there, that pole just rusted out. And I couldn't figure out what it was. I took the carburetor off because I could crank it and it'd just die. Die out. So I said, man, got to be the carburetor, right? Fuel problem, sound like. Because crank fine. Well, come to find out it was my switch. And the reason it was my switch because this rotted out prong was something to do with it keeping running. So I figured out I could wiggle the key after I rebuilt the carburetor. I could wiggle the key and make contact and it'd kind of keep running. Okay, so I said, crank it again, crank it and hold the switch over in the spring position and it'd keep running. The starter wasn't still engaged. Starter had done disengaged, but it'd run. So I figured out it was in the switch, something to do with that. So I went to Home Depot and I bought a switch. I figured a five-prong switch is a five-prong switch. After I bought the $26 switch, I saw a YouTube video that said, no, five-prong switch is not a five-prong switch. So I got to looking at these letters, and there's letters on each of these prongs. The letters on the MTD switch I got were different, and they didn't correspond to this switch. So I got the wise idea, well, I'll take that switch plug that plugs into the back of this right here, and I'll move the wires around to correspond with the letters on the MTD switch so it match this switch. And that might have worked. I don't know. But I messed up and lost my order because I didn't have my pen and I didn't have my paper and I didn't take a picture. And I usually do all that when I'm working on something, but in this case I didn't. I said, well, I'll just be careful. So to make a long story short, I messed up the order of my wires and then I lost the placement of them in my mind. And I didn't know where they went. And so if that happens for whatever reason to you, I looked and looked and looked online. I couldn't find, well, what corresponding wires, what color goes to what letter on this switch. And so through trial and error, I figured it out. I had to trace some wires down, track some wires. And so I'm going to put that on this here. I'm going to show you this paper I got. So on your switch, these letters right here will be on your switch, okay? The S goes to your white wire, the B goes to a red wire, M to a purple wire, G to the black wire, L to the yellow wire. Now this is Sabre by John Deere, 5-prong switch with that lettering on that switch. I looked high and low on the internet. I might have already said this, and I don't mean to be redundant, but I looked high and low. I went to John Deere. They couldn't find the colors versus the corresponding letters for the switch. In fact, I'm still waiting on email. I went there this afternoon, well, earlier today, and this sun's starting to set now. So this will help anybody. I'll be glad of that. I also found I did find this online on another guy's video, and so I'll put this up for you. I don't know. But he said that, and this is what kind of helped me out getting it figured out, was that the G goes to the ground. A B is going to be your positive battery wire. S will be for your starter and your switches. L will be for your fuel solenoid. M will be for your magneto. You may want to pause that if you need to write that down if I didn't make that clear on this and on this. But there you have it, and I hope it helps you have a good day. I'm just a junk man from Nicholson, Georgia. I have all kind of junk around my yard. I just pedal and goof off. Today, nothing like grilling and working on something. But that information was not available. I looked high and low. I'm going to try to figure out how to tag it so that it's relevant to a search. Y'all take care. Hope it helps.